Guess what? It's the weekend. Guess what that means? That means I get to work on my Model A again. Oh, I'm so stoked over this. So, I put a, let me crank down these tunes here a bit. We got the oldies on today. We got the 50s oldies. Anyway, so I put an ad on Marketplace, where I can't stand putting ads up anywhere because it's such a waste of time. But anyway, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Put an ad out there and I said, radiator, engine, tranny, rear diff. Take it all for sale. You must take it all. I don't give a shit. You don't want the differential? The price is still this much. It's gonna be the same price. Was surprised, within a week it went. Gentleman came out, looked at it, heard it run, tried it through the gears, was super stoked. He's taking it away, and the cool thing is he's got a car just like this. But guess what he's gonna do with the running gear? He's gonna set it all up on a stand, because his car is already running and driving. It has a small block in it. He's gonna set this on a stand and have it on display so he can fire it up sitting next to the car. And then he says maybe one day down the road when he gets tired of having the small block Chevy in there, he can jam in the flatty. Very cool idea. Very good. He's going to keep it running, look after it. I like that. It's always going to be indoors. So, the running gear is sold. So guess what that means gets to happen now. I get to work on the car. I mean, I was working on it a little bit, like you saw me. I put the wood in it last week, and I was still going to work on it this weekend and do something. But it's so much easier now that the running gear is sold. I can get all that stuff out of the way, take it out, and then I can start cutting and chopping and playing and having fun. So today is a day where we're going to start pulling her apart. Let's pull this bad boy apart. So let's get started. See you in a bit. Alright, so I got the fluids drained. Well, the antifreeze, I should say. So I got the antifreeze drained. I got the wires off the back of the generator. Marked all those. Got the rad out. Got the grill shell out. Got all that kind of stuff done. So I'm going to be pulling the generator here next. Pulling the fan. So when you're pulling these, if you're not familiar with flatheads, your adjustment on these flatheads is you have a big 7/8 bolt right here, and you got these two here that are 5/8. So this here, this bolt goes into your intake manifold. So what you want to do is if you're adjusting or taking it apart, whatever you want to do, you bolt your fan. You can see it moving there. Your fan bolts in here first with these two brackets. Slip your belts on, obviously, your belts. You can figure that out, I'm certain of it. You got a front, back, and a back one there. Slip your belts on. You're going to put this in. You're going to leave it just a little bit loose. Not as loose as this is now, because I'm taking it off. I'm just explaining if you're trying to tighten these on a flathead. Put those in. Make sure you got your nut here. There's a big square washer. You want to make sure that's square in there, not cockeyed. You leave all this loose. You take a pry bar and you pry under this. As you pry this up, this will move. You'll be tightening this one, then you can tighten this one. And away you go, if you've never done this. But anyway, so I'm going to continue on here and get some more stuff off this engine, and hopefully get her out. Alright, got all the wiring disconnected off the engine. Got the oil filter canister, it was on the side, disconnected, all the oil lines off it, linkage taken off of it, exhaust unhooked. Still got to undo the two mounts right there. That is your mounts on a flathead. On the chuck motors and the Merc motors, now some of the cars, the water pump, how you see it sloping down, do you see this slope right here? The car ones had actually threaded in here into the water pump on some of the cars that were like factory, like saying like a 53 Ford car or a 51 Ford car. This is a common setup for the Mercury cars and the trucks. So there's a few different setups. So you'll have to look into that to understand probably what I'm talking about, but just a little bit of info there. So yeah, there's where all my wiring is. It was always under the seat. Everything is labeled. Everything is labeled under the seat, but this is all going to change now. It's not going to be there. Took the floor out so I could get to everything there. So I got two bolts holding my tranny down, and two bolts holding my engine in. Shifter's off. My e-brake was hooked up to the transmission there. That's gone. Speedo cable's disconnected. Everything is disconnected. Drive shaft is out. This car did have open drive line. This is a 41 Ford rear diff, which is normally closed torque tube, but it's been converted to open. The transmission's a heavy-duty truck 3-speed transmission. Not the greatest probably for this application, because first gear you basically get to 5 miles an hour and you're shifting going into second. So really you can start this car in second and go all day. I was going to change that. If I was going to keep the flathead in here, I was going to put a modern 5-speed in it, but I just I want to go the American Graffiti Coupe style engine. You guys all watching, you heard what I said on the last video. I'm going to put like a little small block Chevy in here with the free manifold and the 4 carbs and all that. So I'm going to be doing that. So that's my plan. And I think I'm going to go, I've decided, I'm pretty certain I'm going to go with a 32 Ford Firewall. I'm for sure going to go with the 32 Ford cowl vent. Now I'm not trying to make this car, some people are writing in and say, so you're going to paint it yellow and all that, you're making it American Graffiti. And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's not a 32 Ford. It's not American Graffiti. I want certain aspects of that car on this car because there's certain things about that car I love. I love the cowl vent. I love the firewall in the 32 Ford. And like I said, when I first saw that movie, I was 12 years old, and something about that car had a 327 in it with 4 two barrels on it and those big old headers. There was something about that just got me going. And I want that identical engine in here, except mine will be a 283. So, you know, I don't even know if I'd have the horsepower he has. My engine, I'm building it up, is going to be around, it's going to be for sure 275 horse, maybe 325. I'm thinking it's going to come in at around 300 horse, which is plenty for what I need, especially coming from going to 300 horse from going and when I had 100 here, right? So that's all I need. So I'm going with certain aspects of that car, but I'm not trying to rebuild that car. And I'm not painting my car yellow either. I'm not trying to rebuild. If I want to build the American Graffiti car, then I'll just go build it. I'll go buy a fiberglass body if that's what it's going to take, and I'll build it. But honestly, I'd probably buy the steel body. There's steel bodies out there. I think they're like, I don't know what they are, 20, 30 grand US. But I don't know. That would be the route if I was going to do it. But that's not what I'm doing here. I'm building my 31 Coupe with some American Graffiti inspiration. So, with that being said, we got a bit done here. We're going to get these 4 bolts undone, get on that next. But before we can do that, we got to get ourselves a cold beverage. That's right. Okay, we got the, what do we got here? We got our freezer thing here. What do we got? Oh, we got some Miller, we got some Busch, we got some Pabst. Let's go to the fridge. Let's go to the fridge. What do we got going on in the fridge? We got some Old Ale Brewery, we got some Budweiser, we got some Pilsner, I see some Coors Light in there. Wait a minute, I see exactly what I want right here. There's what I want, right there. Gonna have myself a good old Coca-Cola out of a glass bottle. And I'll tell you why. Just like John said in American Graffiti when he said it to the grungy twerp. He said, driving's a very serious business. I ain't having no accident because of you. Well, guess what? Besides driving the car that's a serious business, you have to have a car built safe and sound. So when I build my own cars and work on my cars, I ain't drinking no fucking alcohol. I'm drinking Coca-Cola out of a glass bottle. But we all know I'm a rum beer drinking kind of guy, and we all know it's Saturday, and I will wind up somewhere tonight drinking rum and beer, because I always do on Friday and Saturday nights. But while I'm working on my car, I'm drinking pure old Coca-Cola. Okay, we'll get back to you in a minute when we get the engine out. All right, we're ready. Got the bolts off the mounts. Got my cherry picker hooked up. We are ready to rock and roll. Got the tranny bolts out inside here, as you can see right there. They're gone. So, time to try and drag this sucker out of here. Took the headlights off. Just because I've left the Laker headers on there. I'm going to see if I can just take it out as one unit. Just a lot easier for the gentleman that bought it, take it home as a unit. Less stuff for him to put on. Makes his life easier, makes my life easier to get it out. Let's see, we hope. Anyway, let's see if I can get this sucker out of here. Okay, one more drink of my Coca-Cola over there, then I'll go for it. Okay, well, she's coming out, no issues whatsoever. Got a trusty floor jack underneath there by the tranny, just kind of holding it up. But she's out. She's out. So I just got to tight spaces here. Tight spaces, but I got enough room to get her out. It's pissing down rain, so I can jack this up and push the car back a bit too. Anyway, let me finish getting this out and away we go. All right, look at that. It is out. There she is. Sure looks cool with those Laker headers though. Those things are just awesome. I'm undecided whether I'm going to buy a set of these and run them on my small block Chevy or not. I'm tempted to run, again, like I said, I'm tempted to run the same style of header like they had on American Graffiti. To me, it just looks tougher. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It just looks tougher. But I do love these too. So nothing's to stop me from having two sets. I'm going to have two sets of wheels. Why not two sets of headers? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to play with this car. When I drive it and I get bored of the look of it 1 month, I'll just swap my wheels and tires out. Maybe I get bored of the look of it next month, I swap my headers out. I don't know. We'll see. That's the nice thing of having your own shop or just knowing how to do what you're doing. You can do whatever you want. You can just play. But anyway, it's out. This is an original 32 Ford frame. This is not aftermarket. The gentleman I bought the car off, he got this frame off an old hot rodder that boxed it and was going to use it for something and then ended up not doing the project. So this is a set of original 32 frame rails, which is really cool. Which, you can see how he's done, it's got the F1 box. I mean, look how nice he's even cut it around the box. It's not just hacked out. It's all thought of properly. I'm really, you know, I really think I'm going to be putting the 32 firewall in. I have to do something with the firewall when the V8 goes in. I don't want to put one of those recessed newer firewalls in. The trick is you either put, I can turn this, I can take the rivets, drill it out here, the spot welds I should say. I can drill out along here and you take these firewalls, you just turn it around. You see the depth of this, how it's sticking out, and you turn it around, that's going to go in. It's going to give you that clearance. I'm not putting some great big ugly HEI distributor in there. I'm running the, the old factory distributor. I'm going to run this sucker on points. You heard me. I'm going to run it on points. Now, unlike the American Graffiti car, it had an alternator hanging off the side of the engine. I'm going to run a generator. You heard me right there too. I'm going to run a generator. I'm adding a little bit of twist of my own on it, like I said, but that's my plan. So I don't know what I'm going to do next here. I got to get a few more things off. Get the fuel lines and gauges off the firewall. That's my next plan. And just play from there. I do have to get the differential out of here because the differential is sold with it. So I have to get the diff out. So I think what I might do is I'm going to get on old Pete and Jake's and I'm going to order up the shock hangers and the spring hangers. And I've got a differential outside here, just like American Graffiti. I got a 57 Chevy diff with a posi in it, 411 gears. I've had it for years. I've got lots of differentials. Mavericks, 9 inches, all sorts of weird shit out there. Shoebox diffs, S10 diffs, I got, yeah. And no, nothing's for sale. But anyway, I might drag the 57 diff in, clean it up a bit, kind of gut it, see what's going on with it, just make sure it's still good. And I'll get it ready. I would love, I don't think Pete and Jake's are going to have me the brackets sent out here in time, because this gentleman's coming in 7 or 8 days from now to pick up all this stuff. It'd be nice to have the other diff, just the brackets even just spot welded on so I can just throw it up underneath here so the frame's still a roller in the meantime. We'll see what we can do. So maybe I better get the hell off the camera here and get online to Pete and Jake's and order some shit up. Yeah, that's what I better do. Hey, remember, it's always a good time at old time, and we're on the Model A. See you later.